to our Redistricting Community Workshop. This is number 2, our second community workshop. My name is Lisa Berkland, and I'm going to keep my mask on, so hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm your city clerk. I've been your city clerk for about 1.5 years. And a little bit about myself. I live in Long Beach. I went to Cal State Long Beach for my undergrad and for grad school. I received my undergrad in communications, and I received my MPA. Currently studying now for my CMC, which is my Certified Municipal Clerk designation. The Assistant City Clerk is Jennifer White. She's joining us tonight too. She's going to be taking notes for me on any comments that we need to follow up on. Jennifer, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, Jennifer, and I am somewhat new to the City Clerk Department. I've been the Assistant City Clerk for about 1 year. Prior to that, I worked in the Community Development Department for about 5 years, and also spent some time working at the City of San Clemente in their City Clerk Department for a few years there. So I'm happy to be here and assist Lisa and anything that you need, so you know.
Okay, so we'll get going. Okay, so we're just going to jump right in. Why is redistricting important? And for those of you who haven't already seen the video that's online or weren't at that other meeting, really it's important because you want to have the equal population in all of our districts. So every 10 years, the U.S. Census collects data to find out if our districts are still even. And if they're not, then we need to redraw those borders. So that's the process that we're working on right now. And in that process, you really want to avoid gerrymandering. And part of gerrymandering are these two actions that's called cracking and packing. So in each district, you don't want to pack one district with one ethnicity group, but you also don't want to spread out that ethnicity group. You want to make sure that all of your districts are evenly represented. You don't want to purposefully be doing that. If it already exists in a particular district, then that's okay, but when you draw your lines, you don't want to be purposefully doing that. Okay. So our traditional redistricting criteria, contiguity, so we want to make sure that all of the districts connect. Compactness, again, no gerrymandering, no packing, no cracking in districts or proposed districts. The existing boundaries, they should be really easy to identify. So if you have some natural boundaries, like we have the railway, or if you have rivers, you have streets, highways, rails, those are good boundaries for districts. We try to keep communities of interest together in each district. In other words, you don't want a district boundary going straight through the middle of a cohesive neighborhood. We try to avoid that at all costs. Right now, there is a district boundary that breaks up a particular apartment complex on the east side of Lake Forest. We're trying to correct that by getting that apartment complex all into one district. So what kind of input are we seeking from you today? We want to know about those points of interest, those communities of interest that you're concerned about, that you want to keep together in each district. If you have major geographical boundaries you want to let us know about, we want to hear about that so that we don't split that land up. And then any shared interests that neighborhoods have, we want to try to keep those together. Okay, that's our whole purpose. So why is it important to keep communities of interest together? We want to preserve those communities of interest. And those could be housing patterns, cultural, language, public services, points of interest. We want to keep those together in one district rather than breaking them up into 2 or 3 districts. Okay, so here's our timeline. So today is the 26th, this is our public workshop, so we're here today to accept feedback on the current maps that we have, or any new maps that you might be interested in proposing, and turning into. Our next step after tonight will be a public hearing on the 15th, where we will introduce to the council what we call a pre-final map. And we'll present it to the council, they'll decide what they think about the map, they'll provide feedback. Providing that they adopt that map, we'll have a second reading on March 5th. Now, all the maps have to be adopted by April 17th, so we do have a little bit of time with our schedule in case we need to push it out a little bit, hopefully not. And we don't have to have that second reading done by the 17th. We just have to have the pre-final map presented and adopted by the council by April 17th. So let's take a look at the maps that you have in your hands. That's okay. So this light pink is District 5, the light blue, District 4, 3, 2, and 1. And again, the red dots, those signify what the existing boundaries are. These new colored sections are what's being introduced for adoption. So that's draft map 1.
Did we ask questions or at the end?
I'm happy to,
I mean, just your draft map 1, I can't remember, but is this the apartment complex over here to the right, and that was the fixing of
it's
it?
down here.
Yeah, so that was this change.
Mhm.
About.
Yes.
So it added quite a bit of area though. Is that?
The area is not the thing, it's the population you have
Yeah,
to
so
pay
that,
attention to.
okay, so that section there did not significantly increase the population.
Correct.
Because that's a very big geographical area. But the population,
Right, just like District 1, it's huge, but there's
Yeah.
a lot of green space in District 1.
now, Kenyatta,
Mm-hmm.
that was part of 3 previously and now part of 2 now. What was the thinking of that? Because it just took 2 tends to be all the newer homes, and Kenyatta is definitely an older home area. So it doesn't feel like it's meeting those requirements.
Well, it's not a requirement whether a housing
Okay.
tract is like new or old necessarily. You just want to keep those communities together.
I guess they do go to the same elementary school, and
Right,
so
they
there
probably
are
shop
some.
at the same shopping centers,
Yeah.
go to the same parks. That's the thought process behind that. And again, this is a draft map being
Yeah, I know,
introduced.
but these are just the changes that, I was just trying to, like, just get more input into these, I actually know the city better now. This green, the blue-green area, I am not familiar with, so I can't make comments on, but I happen to know the other ones. Okay, so, I do have a comment about the MTVs. It's not like going through the apartment complex, but it is going like where next door neighbors would each be in a different road.
Are you talking about the apartment complex?
The thing that's now up in the versus 1 versus 2, one I lot 4, and so now we have this issue.
Over here,
Yeah, that, I feel responsible for this if this happens, and I think it's not, I don't think it's smart.
Well, what happens is I remember your comment about trying to do the
Yeah.
natural track right here.
Yeah.
If we do that, then you're over the 10% deviation in District 1.
Yeah, so more, just excluding having the apartments in 2, but everything else in 1, was that also not meeting the requirements?
We didn't have.
As it's on proposed map A, or B, one of those 2, has been, doing that, like just going to just the apartments.
Mhm.
And to me, that's a more natural,
Okay,
right?
okay, so
Or
let's,
back to the old thing, and I wish I had never spoken.
okay, well, we can make that note, and you can have the demographer take a closer look at that.
Yeah.
And see if it throws it off a little bit, we'll have to take away from somewhere else.
I understood that when I was looking at it, that it's just, it doesn't really belong in 2. It really, they go to the same schools, including the apartments, but I understood why. Yeah. And so I just wanted to, anyway, you can move on now.
Yeah, okay, so there's the draft map 2, let's see, did you have any questions about draft map 1 before I move on?
Are you going to give us information about the configuration of the voting age population with regard to whether there's Hispanic or Asian?
Yeah, we can put that on the website. I don't have that with me tonight for each of these maps, but we have it.
Okay,
And we can provide all of that, so you can see the breakdown.
Isn't that on the website?
It is, well, we have 4 maps and there's only 2 maps on the website.
Oh, okay.
So we'll update the other 2
Okay.
as well.
Right.
So you'll do it by district? Yes, or not by district, but by draft map. Right, but when you
But when you give us the information on state draft map 2,
Mhm.
there'll be information for
Each
area
one.
1,
Yes,
area 2.
you're right.
Yes.
Yes, it'll be broken up that way. That's pretty easy to do. So,
So where is that, where you have a district, just all the districts up on top?
we do,
You have yeah.
we do. But there's only 2 maps on the website, and now we have 4.
Yeah.
So we'll do the other 2 too. Okay, so draft map 2 looks kind of similar to draft map 1. Just kind of toggling between the 2. You can see the biggest differences are right here. Toggling back and forth. Any comments or feedback on draft map 2, just on at face value?
It's the most similar to the original.
Mhm.
That's my only comment.
Good, okay.
I mean, what other
We'll
comment
take it.
is there?
We'll take it, okay.
I mean, if that was working in the past,
Mhm.
then why not continue?
Okay,
I mean, I don't know what comment, I don't know enough detail, other than that same comment that I
Yeah.
made previously.
okay,
Go back to the original, or just make it just be the apartments.
okay. Now, the next 2 drafts I'm gonna show you are actually called, we call them proposed maps, and that's because the council hasn't had a chance to weigh in on those yet. Yeah, so it's, yeah, potential. Here we go. So potential map A changes things a little bit, so you'll notice up here is different.
Where did this map come from?
This was submitted by a member of the public.
Do you know who it was?
I do. Good to tell it. Robert McKay.
Yeah, I go, is this the one that Robert King did?
Yeah. So, what's different here is, obviously up here is a little bit different. This area here, which is a couple different neighborhoods here, Vista Terrace and I think Parkside, would be included into. And then on this side, it's just a little bit different than the other one.
So just this little chink in 5 feels, a couple of these, is it just because it's the way he had to do the map? Whereas when the other team did it, it was more smoother lines? It looks like a little up here, a little down here, a little.
Oh, up here, you mean?
Well, that one I can't, I think it's the same exact line, but I'm not sure.
No, like this,
Squiggly in here. So,
you mean the up, down, up,
Yeah.
down, up, down? That's just the way it was turned into us. When he drew it, when you go on District Builder, you can include different areas and different neighborhoods.
Robert, are you here?
Yes.
Can you explain your squiggly lines?
Just, I was trying to get the numbers to a certain number.
Oh,
yeah.
Stay within that 10%.
Is there anything difficult, like because of precincts? Do they have to be grouped by precincts or anything like
Not at all,
that?
not at all.
The one thing I do like about potential map A is that while new homes versus old homes aren't necessarily a requirement, it does basically include all the new homes
Okay.
in one district, and it does feel a little gerrymander-ish, but they probably, in this area, all of these people do have the same voting interests. Or they're the most alike in their communities
Mhm.
and where they shop.
Definitely, yeah.
And because the type of homeowner in these homes is very similar.
Mm-hmm.
So, and where they go to school is all else we
It's
can say.
definitely all similar, yeah. Yeah. So again, it's a potential map for the council to consider and opine on. Okay, and we have one final potential map, the 4th map, and that's potential map B. So again, up here it changes the population, and then over here, we change the population.
Who presented this map?
This one was Councilmember Montazzi.
It feels similar, but I think the lines are a little bit smoother. It's hard because you kind of want to see all 4 laid over each other.
And it's really difficult to do a layover with 4 maps. Yeah. Or 5 actually, when you include the original layout of it. I would like currently.
But you can still ask
see the
questions afterwards.
Yeah, the original was the red dotted line.
Yeah. Right. So we put that on all of them so
That's
that
very
you'd
nice.
be able to.
All right, which district in this map, which district has the greater deviation?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't have, I'll be honest, I don't have that information on me, but I can get it for you.
And that is not online, this map is not shown online?
Not yet. It will be up tomorrow.
And the deviations are
And we can do the deviations too, so you can see that.
for the ones.
On
you
the
have.
ones that are there now, yeah. I didn't want to put them on this just because it was already so small and there was a lot of information already on them, so.
I'd be willing to.
And then it only includes the apartments. I don't even know with this map if you could maybe exclude the apartments because you've added all these others. I'd be interested. Do we get to say which one's our favorite, or does that?
If you want to, but you don't have to, because if you did say one was your favorite, I think my follow-up question would be why.
I mean,
Because I want that
yeah, I guess that's the
feedback, I need that feedback.
Like I said, with District 2, having it go all the way down to, on potential map B, District 2 going over and including those homes right across from Saddleback Church.
Okay,
Yeah,
right here.
yeah, I feel like that communities of interest, is that the I felt that during the last election, that group kind of didn't necessarily go with District 3. It's not the same community of interest. It does go more with the District 2 communities.
Okay, so you like this?
Yes.
So you like this? Okay, good. That's good feedback.
I do not, this down here in District 5 feels very consistent with what the map, what do they call?
The current map?
No, the consultants.
Oh,
It
there.
feels very consistent with the consultants, and it does take you to what Robert King said, it just smooths the lines out a little bit more, and I like that.
Okay.
And I do feel like Kenyatta, even though you're correct, it could go either way. I like that section on Kenyatta over
Okay.
is
Yep. right
in
here.
District 3.
Okay. Okay, good. Andy, or
Yeah, that
what?
really makes sense because, otherwise you're drawing a line down Kenyatta and on that south west side, up on a hill, so they really don't have access to Kenyatta.
Mhm.
You know, so they really, all of your access is on Lake Forest. I know that because I drive Kenyatta.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, that's why I know too.
Oh,
Right?
I go to City
It's a nice
Hall, I
little
come
cut
back,
through, yeah.
so I know.
We used it today to get here.
Okay.
So if you think of something after today's over, when you go home tonight, you want to provide more feedback, you can attend the hearing on the 15th. You can submit a public comment form, and you can do that online, or we have hard copies over there for you to take home tonight. You can use the online mapping tool, which is called District Builder, and I'm going to walk you through a couple slides of what our website looks like, so you know where to find that tool. And then we just ask that you submit your draft map by February 4th. That allows us to queue up the map and get it ready for the following council meeting to introduce it to the council. Okay? And this is our redistricting website address and email address if you have additional questions or comments. So this is what our webpage looks like, City of Lake Forest. So at the top, you're going to see an FAQ, the comment form, our demographic profile. And then if you scroll down, this is what you'll see. You'll see the calendar, you'll see a little bit of information about the redistricting process. And if you continue scrolling down, you'll see all the way at the bottom, share your idea, submit a map. And that's the District Builder link. So you click on this and you'll see a window that will pop up that says you're now leaving the City of Lake Forest site. And just click OK, because it's going to take you to another site, and that's where District Builder is.
And where are the maps on this? The existing maps?
They are, this is an old screenshot, so you wouldn't see them here, but they're actually, I think, right over here. Yeah.
before we got the maps.
It's very difficult for us to give input without having the data.
Okay, we'll make sure we get that right up tomorrow, because I have it, so we'll just make sure we have it.
I had kind of thought that was gonna be part of this, so that we would be able to see that and be able to make better judgments.
Okay.
Because we just are looking generally, we don't know what effect it has.
Okay. So when you click on District Builder, it's gonna take you to this site. This is what it's gonna look like. I'm gonna say City of Lake Forest, District Builder. There's two different templates that you can use. There's one that already has the current map already inserted. But then if you just wanna start fresh, without the current map, you can just use this template. It'll be blank. It'll just have the City of Lake Forest boundaries, but it won't have the actual districts laid out. And then another reminder of our timeline. So today's the 26th. This is the public workshop. The next major event is the public hearing. That would be February 15th. And that'll be a specific time. It'll be at 6:45. That's when we've been having it, right? 6:45?
Yes.
Yeah. 6:45 on February 15th. And we are still open to the public, by the way. Some city halls are not. Some council meetings are going virtual because of Omicron. So we are still open to the public. You're able to come in and make those comments. And then at this point, I mean, aside from getting the background data on the breakdown of grades, I'll definitely get you that, like I said, tomorrow. Any other information that you would like to see, or?
No, I think I can look online and see it. I guess I didn't know what this meeting would entail. So, but I do feel responsible for this NTS thing, and so that's why I'm here today, because I don't want this to happen.
Okay.
I'm gonna feel like I caused this.
Okay, all right. Well, and that's what this process is really all about. Like, you come up with an idea and you think that it's great, and then you kind of work through the process and you realize, oh wait, maybe we don't want to do that, we want to do something else. And that's why it's important to have the meetings and talk about it, be able to have multiple maps to